Hi everyone, Jen here from Memory Keeping with Jen. I hope you are doing well. I am coming to you today with another one-page layout video. I've said before, I typically don't do a lot of one-pagers, but the last layout I did was a one-page, and now I need to have something on the other side. So when I look at the book, I have a one-pager and a one-pager. They're pictures from my kids. I'm working on my 2011 year in review. Let me see, I think I'm up to almost August, finally, which I have so far. I think I have two, probably I can fill 2 books right now. I will probably end up with 3. I do have 3 other events in 2011 that will end up in their own separate books. One of which is my son's first birthday, and the second is a trip to Florida that we took with my older son. And then finally Christmas. I always do Christmas in its own album. Sometimes 2 years in one album, depends how many pictures I have, but definitely Christmas will be in its own album. So anyway, so today I'm going to be doing a one-page layout. I have 4 photos. They are portrait mode. So again, I always look to find the right layout that my photos will fit in. And I happened to find the Sizzlin Summer Sketch from August of 2024. And we are now in December of 2024. So it's not that old. There's 2 different variations on here. So you could actually do it as a 2-page layout. I'm just doing it as a 1-page layout. We have the one on the left that has each photo with its own mat. And then we have the one on the right. And I apologize if there's a glare. I have it in a page protector and I didn't take it off. The one on the right has one big mat and then the photos in between. So I'm going to do a variation of this, of course, because that's what I do. And I will talk about that in just a second. So the tools I have, this time I have my cutting mat. This is my custom cutting system cutting mat. It's old. This is the original mat that I've had. So I used to put my address on the back when I used to, address labels on the back when I used to go to a lot more crops than I do now. And that was my very first apartment I moved there in 2002 and I lived there, I think, for 2 years. So that's how old this cutting mat is. We're December 2024. It's probably 22 years old. There are some cut lines on here. I don't use it as often anymore. I still have all the custom cutting system templates. I just don't use them that often anymore. I feel like there's just so many other tools. I kind of gotten away from using a lot of circle photos and definitely gotten away from using the triangles and gemstones and stuff. But today I'm going to be using the Jumbo Square Wavy template. I think that's what it's called. Wavy Square, yeah. I actually just took it out of the package today. Never used it before, so I think it kind of goes along with this. The sizing is different, so it calls for 10 1/4 by 10 1/4. This is bigger than 10 1/4. This is, maybe not, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, this is more like 11 by 11. So, which is fine. Again, I'm going to modify the design just a little bit. And then the supplies I have, I don't know if I'm going to use these. So it does show something in the middle, like an embellishment in the middle. And the kit that I'm using from is not Creative Memories. It's actually Stamping Up and it's old. But I like the colors that are in here, and this came with these. So I will go through actually there's some circles in here. So I will go through these after, once I have my layout all done. There's some borders, and I will decide how and if I'm going to use any of these on my layout. And then of course I have my tape runner, my mini tape runner. I don't think I'm going to need a mini one, but I already had it here set up. I have a refill because I know my tape runner is almost done. I can start to see the red on here, which tells me, and there's very little left on the circle, so I know it's getting close. So I don't want to have to get up. I have that. I have my photos. I have my blades. multi-purpose tool, and I have my photo trimmer. Oh, and I do have, of course, my trusty 12-inch trimmer, which that's a staple always. And then the paper that I chose, I have, obviously this all came in a kit so that it's all color coordinated. This I'm going to use as my background, and then I have two cardstocks. So I think this is fine either way. For some reason I want to put it that way. I don't think it really makes a difference, but. So I'm going to start by cutting the large photo mat, and I'm going to use this peachy color for that. Hoping that it fits on this cutting mat, and it kind of doesn't. So I guess I'm going to have to use, I didn't really want to use this cutting mat, but I'm going to have to because it's just too big. It doesn't fit on the old cutting mat. And I'm actually going to cut the outside, and I'm going to cut out the inside. So that's how I'm going to vary it a little bit. So if you look at this, the whole thing is there. And then I'm going to show you what I'm going to do after that. Then I'm going to cut this in the middle too. So I want to use the red blade because I want it as close to the template as possible. I'm going to do the inside first. So you just line up the little feet on the inside, make sure that they're there. You do have to push down just a little bit. And these blades actually spin. The top of them spin. The old blades didn't do that. So it's supposed to be a little bit easier when you're going around the corners and stuff with it spinning. And this cardstock is really thick, so I'm hoping it cuts through on the first time. I'm going to use my multi-purpose tool and see if I can get it up or not. Yep. All right, stuck right there in that corner. I'm going to redo the corner just a little bit. Okay. I'm going to set this aside. I will save this. I don't think I'm going to use it now. I'm definitely going to save it though. I'll put it back in the bag. All right, now we're going to do the outside. And because it's wavy, I am going to kind of go a little bit slower just to make sure that it gets a good cut. And this is, see, I don't have my feet in, so it's not cutting correctly. It's really hard. There we go. And I'm pushing down a lot because I want to make sure that it cuts through the first time. Again, this is really thick cardstock, so. And I'm holding onto the template because I don't want it to move. It shouldn't, but you can never be too careful. I'd rather hold it and make sure it doesn't move. The template does have little rubber, I'm not really sure what to call them, on the bottom of it to kind of keep it in place. Let's see. Perfect. All right, I'm not going to keep this. I have no need for this. Plus, it's kind of messed up right there. So, although this could be a good, if I didn't mess up right here, this would be a good template to keep to put down on a page. But I messed up, so maybe a different layout I'll use that for at a later time. All right, put this back down. I'm gonna put this here. And then it calls for photos to be 4 by 4. But I'm going to map my photos and put them in the middle. You know what? I want to get my corner rounder because I want the edges to be kind of rounded the way, so it kind of goes with that. So let me grab my corner rounder. When I first started scrapbooking, I used my corner rounder on every layout. It was corner rounder, it was storybox cards. Like, there were certain things that I used all the time. So I'm gonna now cut my photos. 2, 3. Which ones am I gonna use? I'm gonna use that one, not that one, that one. Okay. So these are photos of my son when he was a baby, playing peekaboo in a restaurant. And I captured them. They're not the greatest photos, but I was like, you know what? I have the photos. I need something to put on a single page layout. The next set of photos that I have are all going to be 2-page layouts at least. One of the ones I have, I was looking at it earlier and I was like, ooh, this might actually take 4 pages. So, like, I'll put these in there. They're cute. He was only, well, he was just about a year at this point. And these were taken. So I'm gonna put them here, but I'm gonna mat them. And excuse me, what I'm trying to decide is if I need to make them a little bit smaller to fit inside, or if I just want to put them like this. I think I'm just gonna put them like this. I think maybe I will make them just a little bit smaller and then I'll mat them to 4x4. So I'm gonna cut them down to 3.5 by 3.5. Again, I have the photo trimming guides. Of course, I didn't get them out to bring. I didn't think I was going to need them this time. And I probably don't. I don't really see a major reason why I would need them. 4x4 is fairly easy to do, so. Curious to know if you have extra pictures, you know, random pictures such as I have here. Do you scrapbook them? Do you leave them on your camera? Do you print them and put them elsewhere? So when I have extra photos, like I have this photo I'm not going to use in here, normally I would keep it. It's kind of blurry. I'm just gonna unfortunately throw it away. But normally I have a separate, like, photo album from, I don't know, Walmart, or I probably think I got it on Amazon actually. It's a, I think they're called Pioneer, but it's got the sleeves in it and you just slide the photos in. When I have extras, I just put them in there, and I have a sticky tab that says each year, and I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to scrapbook them, but they're photos that I don't want to throw away, and God forbid, you know, if I ever need a photo that I already know I have printed, but it's not in my scrapbook, then I can go and just pull it out of there. So I only need 4 inches on this one. So I'm gonna show you how I cut. So you see this, it has the white line here if you don't have this trimmer. So we have the white line to show where it's gonna cut to. I just need a 4x4 square, and it has the measurements here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So I am gonna go down, I'm gonna look to the side, and I'm gonna cut only until I get to this line right here. So I'm gonna go until my white line lines up with the black one. And then I'm gonna cut on here. So I'll do it this way. And I'm gonna cut from the bottom. I could cut from the top, it's the same size, it doesn't really matter. I'll just cut from the top. And I'm same thing. Cut until I get to there. And there's my 4x4. I didn't cut completely, I probably missed it just a little bit, but that's fine. All right, I'm gonna round all of this. Does anybody remember, I'm gonna date myself, like as I look through my parents and my grandparents' old photos back from, I'll say like the late 70s and early 80s, when they would get them printed from wherever, like little photo huts, and the photos always came back rounded, always. Did they print them like that? Was the paper already like that? Did they cut them after? Very curious to know. Not that it matters, but I like to ask questions like that sometimes. If you don't have a corner rounder, so obviously you just slide it in, push it down, and then once it's, so that there's no remnants, they go in this little like trash container thing here, and it just opens up and you can empty it that way. Super easy. All right, I'm going to mount these on the photo mats. So this time, so I am a Creative Memories advisor. I have been for many, many years. I was when Creative Memories, it was the old Creative Memories back in the early 2000s. I was an advisor, I want to say from 2000 or 2000, I think it was 2000 until like 2008 or 2009, when they went through all the changes. And then I wasn't, my kids were little, I just wasn't, I didn't get to scrapbook as often. And then I joined again in 2016. And I have to tell you, this is the first time. So these photos I actually printed from Creative Memories. I've never been one to like matte photos. I really like glossy photos, but having tried it out, I've seen a lot about it, wanted to try it, I tried it out. I really like them. The quality is great. They don't feel flimsy at all. And you can have them printed whatever you want on the back. I like to have the actual date the photo was taken on the back. But the way I had these uploaded, that information didn't transfer over, so I did put something else on the back, but it's fine. All right, now I'm gonna put these in order. So it was that, and I'm kind of lining it up so the curve is in the corner. So that one, actually goes this one first. That's what he was pulling it up to his face, the napkin. So it's just, I have them just barely in the corner. And I like it like that. And now I'm gonna go back and look at, I don't know if these are stickers or not. I've never actually used these. They do look like stickers. They are. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and adhere everything down, and then I'm gonna put on some stickers. Okay, did you see what I just did? It's solid cardstock, same on both sides. And I still flipped it over to put my adhesive on the back side. I do it every time, whether it's solid or not. All right, I want to make sure that I have it lined up. And I've said this before, one of the things I love about this mat is I can line up. So on the bottom I have it, I know it's going up a 1/2 inch here and a 1/2 inch from either edge. So all the way around I'm a 1/2 inch from the edges. All right, let's see, how did I do this now? I want to make sure I get them in the right order here. And I'm going very close to the edge. I will upload this template, this Sizzling Summer Sketches, August 2024. I will upload this to my Facebook page. It is, my Facebook page is Memory Keeping with, oh, here we go, Memory Keeping with Jen, 2 N's, and my tape runner's envy. So very easy if you've never changed one of these before. See, it's red, it goes in the trash. Open a new one. This white part always goes down. Just drops in. Put the cover back on. So sometimes it does get a little bit gunky. This one's actually fine. Like sometimes you have to clean up the this thing here, but it's fine. Mine's fine right now. No, I can't get it in. There we go. Okay. And now let's see. I kind of feel like I am going to write peekaboo on here somewhere, but I almost think I'm going to use, I have them in here. This is one of the things I love about this. See, I have the old blades in here. Here's the drawer. I'm going to use my, just going to give it a little pop. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to layer them, but I want to make sure that this is not too big, and it is not. So put that one there. And then which way do I want to go? I think I'm going to go, do this one. I did not get the powder tool. The powder tool was a limited availability. What you would do with the powder tool is when you have something like this that you want to then make dimensional with the foam stickers, you would put the powder on the back to make the rest of it not sticky so that it doesn't fall. I don't have that, so I'm just going to put extra. See, this is when the multi-purpose tool comes in handy. I'm going to put extra foam stickers on them. And these are not Creative Memories. These are EK Success, I think. I've had these forever. I do have the Creative Memories ones as well. Just not sure where they are. I went to a crop in October a couple months ago, and I thought I emptied out my bag of everything that I brought, but there's a couple things that I cannot find. So I'm guessing that they're in my tote bag still, and of course my tote bag is kind of buried. All sticky. So I just haven't taken the time to get it out. with Christmas, and it's been hectic. Okay, now I'm going to take stickers off. I like to have just a little bit of a pop, and I want to do it just like that. Okay. I think that's it. I'm gonna get a marker. I think I'm just gonna shoot very lightly along the bottom what's going on. Obviously, I think we should know it's playing peekaboo, but actually, let me double check and make sure I don't want to have add any other of these stickers. No, I'm good. All right, that's it. Another easy layout, quick one-page layout. If you don't have the Jumbo Wavy Square template, you can certainly use the 12-inch decorative trimmer if you have that. You could use your regular border punches if you have those. You could use just your regular 12-inch trimmer to cut out in the middle. You could using the line, on here, you could measure and mark on the paper where you want it cut, and then you could use this and you can cut out the center of a page that way. I could do a video on that another time. But that's it. I hope this was helpful. I hope you enjoy whatever albums you're working on, scrapbooking pages that you're working on, and I hope that you visit again soon. If you made it this far, please hit that like and subscribe button. I do try to post videos twice a week, depending on my full-time work schedule, but that's my goal for 2025 is twice a week, either Sunday, Monday, and then typically Thursdays work well for posting. So again, thank you so much, and happy scrapbooking. Take care.